8 Hollywood stars who were ruined by buccal fat removal. Hollywood has always chased a perfect face. But what happens when the trendy procedure of the moment leaves stars looking not younger or more beautiful, but hollowed out, gaunt, and decades older than they actually are? Meet buccal fat removal, plastic surgery's biggest regret factory. This is a procedure that many celebrities are now desperately trying to reverse, revealed a Beverly Hills plastic surgeon who requested anonymity. The problem is once you remove that fat pad from your cheeks, it's gone forever, and what looked trendy and sculpted at 25 becomes skeletal and aged at 35. Unlike other cosmetic enhancements that can be dissolved, reduced, or removed, buccal fat removal permanently. It alters facial structure by extracting the small pads of fat that give cheeks their natural fullness. The procedure promises more defined cheekbones and a slimmer face, but often delivers something more sinister: premature aging. We're seeing an epidemic of young celebrities with what I call surgery face, explained a veteran Hollywood casting director. These girls go and want to look like supermodels, but instead end up looking like they've time traveled 20 years forward. The cheek hollowing is particularly aging. It's actually something we associate with elderly faces, not youthful ones. What makes this trend particularly devastating is its irreversibility. While fillers can be dissolved and Botox wears off, this surgery permanently removes a natural part of facial anatomy, tissue that actually helps maintain a youthful appearance as we age naturally. It's the plastic surgery equivalent of cutting bangs during a mental breakdown, noted a celebrity image consultant. Except these bangs never grow back, and they make you look like your own grandmother. Today, we're examining 8 high-profile celebrities whose faces were dramatically and often negatively transformed by this procedure. From the former Disney star whose fairy tale features morph into something unervingly sharp, to the model-turned-mannequin whose once soft beauty has been replaced by something suspiciously sculpted. These cautionary tales reveal the dark side of chasing every cosmetic trend, and how the pursuit of Instagram perfect angles is creating a generation of stars who surgically fast-forwarded their faces into premature aging. But first, let's look at our most dramatic before and after case. The Broadway star whose journey from fresh-faced ingenue to hollow-cheeked stranger has fans and industry insiders alike asking what happened to her face. Take a little Lea Michele from Glee to Gaunt. When Lea Michele burst onto the scene in 2009 as Rachel Berry on Glee, her fresh face, youthful appearance complemented her character's teenage enthusiasm perfectly with naturally full cheeks and a rounded face. She embodied a relatable kind of pretty that helped audiences connect with her ambitious character. Fast forward to the day and fans are doing double takes at red carpet appearances. Once known for her youthful full face, noted a celebrity esthetician who has worked with numerous television stars. Michelle had what we call in the industry baby face, round full cheeks that gave her a perpetually youthful appearance. It was part of her charm and worked perfectly for her early career roles. Around 2016, subtle changes began appearing in Michelle's facial structure. By 2018, the transformation was impossible to ignore. The once soft contours of her cheeks had been replaced by sharply defined hollows, creating a much more angular and mature-look face. Allegedly underwent buccal fat removal, now appears much older and sharper, explained the esthetician. While she's never confirmed the procedure, the changes are consistent with what we see in buccal fat removal. There's a very specific kind of hollowing under the cheekbones that's difficult to achieve any other way. What makes Michelle's transformation particularly striking is how dramatically it aged her appearance. In her early Glee days, she looked younger than her actual age, a beneficial trait for an actress playing high school characters. Post-procedure, many fans and industry observers note, she appears significantly older than her years. She went from fresh face to prematurely hollow, observed a casting director who works primarily in television. It's actually limiting from a casting perspective. She's not even 40, but the angular hollowing makes her difficult to cast in younger roles now. It's a permanent aging effect that makeup can only partially disguise. The timing of Michelle's facial transformation coincided with her transition from television to returning to her Broadway roots. A career shift that some suggest might have influenced her cosmetic choices. There's a different aesthetic standard on Broadway versus television, explained a theater producer familiar with Michelle's career. The intense stage lighting and distance from audience requires more defined features. Unfortunately, what works under stage lights often looks harsh in close-up on camera or in person. Social media reaction to Michelle's changed appearance has been mixed, but predominantly negative, with fans expressing confusion and concern rather than admiration. Comments frequently include observations like she was prettier before and questions about what happened to her face. The issue isn't that she looks bad. She's still beautiful, noted the esthetician. The issue is that she no longer looks like herself. There's a disconnect between the Lea Michelle that fans grew to love and the much more angular, mature-looking woman who appears on red carpets now. Michelle's case illustrates a common pattern among celebrities who undergo this procedure. What begins as a desire for more model-less facial definition often results in a premature aging effect that cannot be reversed, trading a youthful fullness that would have aged gracefully for a sculpted look that paradoxically makes them appear older than they actually are. While Michelle's transformation has been dramatic, but still within the range of natural-looking results, our next subject's facial metamorphosis has taken the sculpted aesthetic to an even more extreme conclusion. Growing up, it would be like spreads just like most, but he doesn't cook for 4 people. If anybody that's Arab knows, like Arab parents cook for 50 people, and that's Bella Hadid modeled a mannequin as the daughter of model Yolanda Hadid and sister She Hadid Bella Hadid entered the modeling world with both genetic advantages and intense pressure to stand out when she first appeared on the scene in the mid-2000s. Her face featured naturally soft contours and rounded cheeks that, while beautiful, didn't yet have a high fashion angles her career would eventually demand. The transformation that followed has become one of the most analyzed facial evolutions in modern modeling. Though never confirmed, her dramatic cheek change suggests fat removal, explained a fashion photographer who has worked with numerous top models. When Bella first started modeling, she had a more conventional, accessible beauty. Within a few years, her face had developed these dramatic hollows and angles that simply don't occur naturally, especially in someone so young. The changes to Hadid's face weren't subtle or gradual, but appeared relatively suddenly between 2016 and 2018. Red carpet photos and runway appearances showed a distinctly more sculpted mid-face with pronounced hollowing beneath her cheekbones that created much sharper angles than were present in her earlier modeling work. Critics say her face lost softness and now looks over-sculpted, noted the photographer. The modeling industry certainly prizes defined features, but there's a point where it crosses from enhanced to artificial. Many industry insiders feel Bella may have crossed that line, creating a look that's striking in fashion photography, but reads as unnatural in motion or normal lighting. What makes Hadid's case particularly notable is how her facial transformation coincided with her rise to supermodel status. As her cheeks hollowed and her features sharpened, her bookings for high-fashion brands increased, seemingly validating the aesthetic choice professionally while generating mixed reactions from the public. From model to mannequin, observed a veteran fashion editor. The irony is that while the ultra-sculpted look may photograph dramatically for certain high-fashion contexts, it actually limits versatility. The severe angles create a specific look that works for avant-garde fashion, but doesn't translate well to commercial work, beauty campaigns, or roles requiring relatability. The impact of Hadid's transformed appearance extends beyond her own career. As one of the world's most photographed and influential models, her facial aesthetic has helped normalize an extremely sculpted look that many young women now pursue, often without understanding the permanent consequences. Bella has become a reference photo that plastic surgeons dread, revealed a Beverly Hills surgeon who specializes in facial procedures. Young patients come in with photos of her, not realizing that achieving that level of facial hollowing often requires multiple procedures, not just buccal fat removal. They don't understand that what looks striking on a runway or Instagram will look gaunt and age in everyday life. Unlike some celebrities who maintain complete silence about cosmetic enhancements, Hadid has taken a middle path, neither confirming nor denying specific procedures, while acknowledging that she regrets having a nose job as a teenager. This selective transparency has led to even more speculation about her other potential enhancements. What's particularly concerning about Bella's influence is that her look isn't achievable through natural means. The surgeon continued, young women see her and think about makeup or contouring, when in reality it's surgical modification. Then they pursue permanent changes to chase a trend that will inevitably evolve. While Hadid continues to enjoy tremendous professional success with her transformed appearance, industry insiders question the long-term implications of such dramatic facial sculpting at a young age. The removal of natural fat pads that normally provide youthful volume raises concerns about how this highly sculpted look will age as she moves through her 30s and beyond. Unlike our first two subjects who have neither confirmed nor denied undergoing procedure, our next celebrity has taken the unusual step of publicly acknowledging her buccal fat removal and expressing mixed feelings about the results. To have a team like you behind you and to front this, and it's just such a magical, incredible experience, and I'm so happy for you. And this is you bring so much joy to people. Chrissy Teigen, the confessed remover. In an industry where most celebrities respond to cosmetic procedure speculation with firm denials or strategic silence, Chrissy Teigen has established herself as an outlier by openly discussing her aesthetic choices, including the decision to have her buccal fat removed. This rare transparency provides a uniquely insightful case study into both the procedure itself and the complex emotions that can follow such a permanent facial alteration. Publicly admitted having buccal fat removed, noted a celebrity journalist who has covered Teigen's career. In late 2021, Teigen posted Instagram stories explicitly confirming the procedure, even pointing to the areas of her cheeks that have been altered. This level of candor about facial surgery is almost unprecedented among celebrities of her status. Teigen's openness extended beyond simply naming the procedure. She shared the thought process behind her decision and her satisfaction with the initial results, commenting on social media. No regrets except people are simultaneously mad at me for getting fat and mad at me when I lose weight. The visual changes to Teigen's face following the procedure were immediately noticeable and extensively documented. Given her active presence on social media, her naturally round face developed pronounced hollows beneath her cheekbones, creating a more angular appearance that dramatically changed her familiar look. Fans noticed her cheeks looked drastically more hollow in photos, explained the journalist. The transformation was particularly striking because Teigen had been known for her full-faced, expressive features. The sudden appearance of dramatic shadows and contours under her cheekbones created an entirely different facial aesthetic. What makes Teigen's case especially valuable is her subsequent commentary, suggesting mixed feelings about the procedure as time passed. In later interviews, she indicated that while she didn't regret the surgery outright, she questioned whether it had been necessary. She later said she may not have needed it, noted a Hollywood image consultant who has followed Teigen's career. This kind of post-procedure reflection is rarely shared publicly. Most celebrities either defend their choices unwaveringly or deny having work done altogether. Teigen's willingness to publicly second-guess her decision offers a glimpse into the psychological complexity of permanent facial alterations. The timing of Teigen's procedure coincided with other significant life events, including pregnancy, childbirth, and a period of intense public scrutiny. This context raises questions about the psychological factors that often influence cosmetic surgery decisions, particularly the impact of public commentary on celebrities' body image. She owned the mistake, but the look stuck, observed the consultant. Teigen's transparency about both the procedure and her ambivalence afterward highlights the fundamental risk of trend-driven cosmetic surgery. The permanence of the change outlasts the trend that inspired it. For audiences and fans, Teigen's case offered perhaps the clearest before and after comparison on our list. Her extensive social media documentation, both pre- and post-procedure, provides an unusually complete visual record how buccal fat removal transforms, serving as both documentation and perhaps unintentionally caution. While Teigen's buccal fat removal represents a relatively isolated cosmetic change, our next subject has undergone a much more comprehensive facial transformation, one that includes buccal fat removal as just one element in an aggressive pursuit of anti-aging intervention. Madonna, the queen of reinvention's face, went too far. Few artists have reinvented themselves as successfully or as frequently as Madonna. From her 80s lace and rubber beginnings through her Evita elegance and cowgirl phase, each transformation felt like an artistic evolution until her face became the focus of that reinvention, with results that have sparked concern rather than admiration. While the exact timeline and inventory of Madonna's cosmetic procedures remain private, experts broadly agree that buccal fat removal appears to be one significant component of her dramatically altered appearance. long rumored to have undergone a combination of fat removal and aggressive filler, explained a celebrity esthetician who specializes in non-surgical facial treatments. What we're seeing with Madonna isn't just one procedure, but likely a combination of surgical fat removal, strategic filler placement, and possibly thread lifts or other lifting procedures. The buccal fat removal component is particularly evident in the hollowed mid-face that wasn't present in her earlier years. The visual transformation has been striking. Madonna's naturally full cheeks, which contribute to her youthful appearance well into her 40s and 50s, have been replaced by sharply defined hollows simultaneously. Other areas of her face appear unusually full or tight, creating what some experts describe as a compartmentalized look where different facial regions appear to be aging at dramatically different rates. Her facial structure changed drastically, tight in some areas, sunken in others, noted the esthetician. This contrast between overfilled regions and hollowed areas creates an unnatural appearance that actually draws more attention to age rather than disguising it. The buccal area specifically shows that characteristic concavity that typically signals either extreme weight loss or surgical fat removal. What makes Madonna's case particularly noteworthy is how her facial transformation has affected public perception of her performances and artistic output. Comments about her appearance now frequently overshadow discussion of her music or creative projects, a significant shift for an artist whose provocations were once primarily cultural rather than aesthetic. She lost volume, and the fans noticed, observed a music journalist who has covered Madonna's career for decades. Madonna has always been controversial, but the conversation used to center on her artistic choices and cultural boundary pushing. Now, social media and public commentary focus overwhelmingly on her facial appearance. It's become a distraction from her actual work. The timing of Madonna's most dramatic facial changes coincided with an era when social media scrutiny of celebrities intensified dramatically. Unlike earlier stages of her career when magazine photos could be carefully controlled and performances precisely lit, today's high-definition cameras and fan photos create an unforgiving environment where cosmetic alterations are analyzed in microscopic detail. Madonna's situation highlights a painful irony, explained the journalist. In attempting to preserve youthfulness through aggressive intervention, she's created an appearance that actually draws more attention to the fact that she's fighting aging, which ultimately emphasizes rather than disguises her age. For younger celebrities considering buccal fat removal, Madonna's case serves as a particularly relevant warning about the long-term implications of removing natural facial fat. As a woman now in her mid-60s, she demonstrates how facial fat removal that might create fashionable hollows in youth can accelerate the appearance of aging later in life, precisely when that natural fat would have helped maintain a more youthful fullness. While Madonna's transformation reflects a comprehensive approach to facial modification, our next subject's changes have been more subtle, but equally transformative, altering the ethereal quality that initially defined her appeal. Oi! Pretty Things, David Bowie, Positive Vibrations, Bob Marley. I mean, I love spiderwebs, no doubt. I was a big No Doubt fan when I was a teenager. Obsessed. Zoe Kravitz, ethereal to emaciated. With her famous parentage, Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet, and naturally delicate features, Zoe Kravitz entered Hollywood with a distinctive look that set her apart. An ethereal beauty characterized by soft contours and a perfect balance between angular and rounded features. The subtle but significant changes to her facial structure in recent years have transformed that unique aesthetic, creating a sharper, more hollow appearance that has generated extensive speculation about buccal fat removal. Once known for balanced, soft facial features, noted a casting director who has followed Kravitz's career. Early in her career, Zoe had this perfect equilibrium between defined bone structure and youthful softness. Her cheeks had natural fullness that softened her already prominent cheekbones, creating an almost otherworldly beauty that worked perfectly for roles in fantasy and ethereal projects. The transformation in Kravitz's appearance became particularly noticeable around 2018 to 2019, when red carpet appearances in film premieres revealed a distinctly more hollow mid-face. The natural fullness that had balanced her features was replaced by pronounced concavity beneath her cheekbones, creating a much more sculpted but also more severe appearance. Appeared suddenly more gaunt in recent years, prompting buccal fat removal speculation, explained the casting director. The change wasn't gradual like you'd see with normal aging or weight fluctuation. There was a distinct before and after quality that's typically associated with surgical intervention rather than natural processes. What makes Kravitz's transformation particularly noteworthy is how it altered the quality that had distinguished her from other actresses of her generation. The softness that created her ethereal appeal has been replaced by a more conventional fashion industry standard of sharp angles and hollows. She was ethereal. Now she just looks drained, observed a fashion photographer who has worked with Kravitz. There's something almost contradictory about the change. In pursuing what's currently considered high fashion bone structure, she's actually moved closer to standardized beauty ideal and away from a unique quality that set her apart. The timing of Kravitz's facial changes coincided with her taking on more prominent roles, including Catwoman in the Batman 2022, projects that perhaps call for a more severe angular appearance than her earlier work. This professional context raises questions about the industry pressures that influence celebrities' cosmetic choices. Actresses often feel pressure to sharpen their features as they pursue leading roles, explained the casting director. There's an unspoken expectation that female stars should define facial architecture for close-ups. The camera loves angles, and many actresses are advised, formally or informally, that more defined features photograph better than softer ones. Social media reaction to Kravitz's transformed appearance has been mixed, with some fans praising her more sculpted look, while others express nostalgia for her formerly softer features. Comments frequently include observations about how she looks more high fashion, but less unique than before. While Kravitz continues to secure prestigious roles and maintain her status as a fashion icon, industry observers note that her transformation reflects a broader homogenization of beauty standards among young Hollywood stars, with buccal fat removal serving as one of the primary tools creating this uniform, hollowed aesthetic. Our next subject's facial evolution represents perhaps the most comprehensive transformation on our list, a systematic reinvention that has left her almost unrecognizable from a fresh-faced actress who first captured public attention. I'm sewn into this, so I'm just trying to be careful not to burst it. I, for some reason, thought this was going to be like a PDA meeting with like 10 people, so I didn't write anything. Megan Fox from Fresh to Fabricated. When Megan Fox exploded into public consciousness with Transformers in 2007, her striking beauty seemed almost supernatural. Flawless skin, perfect symmetry, and natural fullness that complemented her defined bone structure.